storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
What is up, Storm Chasers? I came to report on this whole Porsha Simon debacle. As you guys know, Simon Gobadia, the man that changed his name 1,000 damn times. ICE officially sent his ass back to Nigeria. And when the Neighborhood Talk actually first posted the story, I went and commented and was like, shit, this is the best time ever to get deported. You know, like the man gonna be treated like a king over there. He got plenty of money. You know, if you guys remember, I actually interviewed his second ex-wife a few wives ago. The man has been married multiple times and changed his name multiple times. And when he first came into this country in the 80s, he was scamming, he was pushing weight, he was doing all kinds of fraud and all kinds of check fraud. And no matter how many times he got kicked out, he always came back. And if y'all remember, if you were OG Storm Chaser, I mean, like from like, this would have had to have been 2020. All right. Remember, I said, if he flagged my channel again, I was going to report his ass to ICE. Only for 5 years later for them to get him and to get him on up out of here. One thing I will say, when Porsha the Horsha got with him, she definitely like made him look better and upgraded his look. You know, he lost. But first off, Porsha clearly don't go for looks. She definitely goes for money. She goes for status. She goes for clout. And she loves her a bald-headed, pot-bellied man. Like, don't nothing make Porsha spread her legs like a man with a pot belly and a bald head and a bunch of money. You know, and they always lose about 15 to 20 pounds when they get with Porsha. They get new teeth. They start to look a tad bit better. Not better than her. Not really attractive. Not cute. The niggas don't never turn cute. She don't like cute niggas. But they always get, they blow up a little bit. I got to keep it real. I have nothing against Porsha. I will say she's had a lot of media training. I will say that, you know, Porsha on Real Housewives of Slutlanta has definitely been underwhelming. You know, a lot of y'all thought she could be the lead and take the lead and step in for Kinga and step in for Nene, and she just can't. She just don't have it in that way. Okay, she needs one of the heavy hitters to work off of, and it's true. It is what it is, but nonetheless, Porsha the Horsha Williams knows how to get to the bag. So they said, according to U.S. Weekly, a judge has ruled this week that Porsha will be awarded her prenuptial agreement, which was set in place when she and Simon first tied the knot in 2022, aka when she went over to that lady house and stole that lady husband. She put that coochie in that pool, and it was never the same after that. I wouldn't even be surprised if Porsha the Horsha don't do a little magic on the side, you know, some rituals on the side. I would be shocked. You know, now she can act like she a Jesus freak. You know what I mean? She can play that role, but the way she get these ninjas and the way she hook them in, it definitely gives succubus or maybe even siren vibes. You know, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. All right. Porsha will receive $40,000 a month in alimony. Woo! And will have her legal fees covered. She will also be allowed to continue living in their $7 million Atlanta home until 2027, and she gets to keep the Rolls Royce that Simon gifted her. Before the judge awarded Porsha the Horsha the prenuptial agreement, Simon argued that he would not have agreed to all of these financial obligations had he known Porsha was going to return to Real Housewives of Slutlanta. He claims she misled him to believing she was done with reality TV and that the prenuptial agreement was made in bad faith. And sir, you also led her to believe that she was completely legit. You led her to believe that she wasn't scamming. Your ass is a Nigerian scammer. It is what it is. You led her to believe that you was on the up and up, and she had to protect herself. And Porsha the Horsha was not going to be out here looking stupid like funny head ass Cordell had her. See, gay ass Cordell threw her out with nothing but her wedding dress and a little bit of money for a taxi cab. When Porsha the Horsha left gay ass Cordell, she had to go back to her mammy house. Matter of fact, I think she wasn't even sleeping in the room. I think she was sleeping on the couch. You know, those same couches that Miss Diane loved to eat that pizza with that ranch on. Anyway, shout out to Miss Diane. Miss Diane is fine as hell. Porsha the Horsha, I'm gonna tell you, your mama is fine. And one thing about it, ladies, I always tell y'all too, you know, don't marry for love, marry for convenience, and marry for security. The girls that get it, and the ones that don't, They don't. All right, so it says, however, Porsha pushed back, claiming the only reason she decided to return to reality TV was to offset the numerous financial obligations that Simon failed to fulfill under the temporary order. There's actually some truth to that, because she was, let me tell you something, Porsha, aka the Princess of Thailandia, she was enjoying going from America to Colombia to Nigeria to, I mean, the girl was twerking all over the gram. She was stunting on us in different freaking parts of the globe. She didn't want to go back to work. Who likes to work? Anyway, so yeah, she also cited the need to offset the significant legal expenses that Simon that Porsha has already incurred in pursuing enforcement of the parties' prenuptial agreement and defending herself against Simon as it relates to the instant divorce action. So this was her plan all along to get the bag. I'm not really sure how they're going to enforce it, since he is over there in Nigeria. Maybe he transferred all of his assets to Nigerian banks. You know, I doubt it though. Most likely he has money over there and he has money over here. And, you know, push come to shove, her lawyers will go after whatever assets he has in United States banks. You know, but nonetheless, Porsha the horse should know how to get to the bag. So she, started off with the hot dog man. Remember, she was spreading her legs for Hennessy and chicken wings, and then she had the baby, and then that didn't work out. Then she tried to beat up Dennis's little mama. His mama ain't number about 4'11". Then she moved on to the pot-bellied African, got what she could get out of him, and now she back on Real House of Atlanta, giving us a underwhelming performance. So that's all. Let me know what you think below. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you care, and I will catch you guys later.
It's Storm Show. Ay, it's Storm Show.